What's up, Coffee Blurs? Today I'm talking with Erica Jackson, who was unintentionally sorta my first guest back in episode 0 before I even knew I'd be starting a podcast. We are going to be experimenting with bloom times in an Aeropress. I was pleasantly surprised by the results, both hers and mine. We also talk about how even chronic loners like myself need someone and a community to help support them, especially in times like these when things get rough. But it's not all touchy-feely, so I'll just let you watch, find out more for yourself, and enjoy. Cheers.
What do you think the parameters for that should be? So usually on an Aeropress, I do a 30-second bloom, but what do you think the bloom time should be extended to?
Let's go a little crazier. Let's do 3 minutes. What coffee are you using?
We said that at the same time. I am using Tropical Weather by Onyx Coffee Lab. Fast tasting notes of mango nectar, pineapple, peach sweet tea, and floral honey. So I'm on the sweet teas game this time.
Yeah, okay. That sounds fancy. I'm going for St. Francis Little Brother Espresso Blend.
Okay. Let's go.
I just really want to see if we can reconnect.
How much coffee and water are you using?
I'm using 18 grams of coffee and 225 grams of water. How about you?
Okay. Using 20 grams of coffee and 240 grams of water.
Just try it. I know it's a lot on your mind. A lot that you feeling, a lot that you trying. I just want to...
You want to do the 3-minute bloom first?
Well, yeah. What else are we doing?
The shorter one.
Yeah, let's do the long one first.
Okay. All right. You're like, duh.
So making it work is what's on my mind, baby. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we didn't talk about this before, but I'm only going to stir it for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to let it be the rest of the time.
Okay. I'm stirring for, I guess it's about 15 seconds. Swirl and stuff. I'm assuming you're using a single filter.
Your assumption is correct. Did you see my story?
Yeah. I did.
I almost got caught doing the double filter, but
I think you should just, you know what? I don't think you should be scared. Just let it happen. Just, if it happens, maybe it's a sign.
I saw it, like, bruh, this don't look right. And I was like, oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going for double filter because I'm a rebel.
As you should. It's on brand for you.
Thanks. You work with Get You Some Gear, right?
I do. Yeah. I'm in the department.
So what does that mean? What do you do for them?
Experimenting and communicating, and I hope for it to transform into a coaching platform for me. But yeah, right now we're working on some brewing recipe cards and videos and things like that to go with the gear boxes. And I'm in charge of the recipes and getting the cards made. And I'll do some of the videos for sure. I also am kind of the tea person, just communicating with our tea partnerships and doing tea experiments. I'm probably going to do some tea brew guides.
Damn, okay. That sounds very, very cool.
It's a lot of fun. But it's really, I don't know, of the people that are on the team, I'm like, oh, I get to be an educator. It's like, oh, Chris or Chelsea probably should. And then we have Sid and Kay join the team. It's just such a killer team. I'm like, wow.
Wait, so are you feeling inadequate? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm totally qualified. It's just when you're surrounded by other people that are good, though, you're at least for me, I'm competitive. So I'm constantly I got to get good somehow, I think everyone has different skill sets.
That sense of wanting to just make sure you're up on your game when you're surrounded by stars that seems healthy, as long as you're still aware that you are also the shit.
Exactly. I think the moxie on the team is also present. I think in different ways, we all know like we're good. Just some of us are more vocal about it.
Just get away. Get away. Yeah. Get away.
I'm like feeling really grateful to the internet. When I first started looking for people of color in coffee, I was having trouble.
Right.
Like, oh shit, okay, now I feel like there's all these little pockets of secret communities and I want to be a part of all of them.
It's really cool how Black coffee has been more connected since like 2019, I would say. But yeah, like you find like these little pockets and then start talking to other people. It's really cool to just see who's out here and like what they're doing and connect with people in different ways. And I think that's why we have these really cool collaborations at play now. We all know each other and we know like what everyone does and what they're about.
Yeah.
We can reconnect. We can find a moment just to break down from the stress. It's been a lot lately.
Yeah, you gotta write this shit down because the people want to know. So.
Good, because I mean, I know I want to know, and that's almost the only reason. Not the only reason. I'm doing it for the people as well,
right.
For the culture, but
right.
Mostly for me. Any first impressions?
I think this definitely meets the expectation of the coffee. It's bright, it's sweet, for sure, like very floral. And I wonder as it cools, like how the acidity will be with the longer brew time. But right now it's pleasant. Yeah, what do you think?
Same. It's a nice kind of dark light roast.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty on point. I really am liking the milk chocolate and honey coming through. Yeah, not much acidity, but same. I'm curious how that'll change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on point.
Nice.
Boss been acting crazy and maybe we can find a moment.
How are you coming along? You about to start the next brew?
I'm ready.
All right.
When I got that, my Aeropress, and I got that, this little guy to help you.
I just call it a funnel.
Okay, yeah, the funnel, thank you. I was like so against it on just a really like kind of whack level where like I don't need help paying my coffee grinds. It's just such an old habit of mine. Basically, I just I don't want help on anything. I know that nothing great hardly gets done by yourself, and
yeah, it's really interesting to think about the history of the Aeropress as well, like how these things, like the equipment that came with it, because I think the Aeropress was made for people who aren't professionals, who aren't trying to be precise, who are just trying to throw coffee in some and get it done, So the funnel makes sense. I tried to be like, bro, like I can do this on my own. Like, watch me.
Yeah. I think that actually kind of comes from working in environments where like I feel like I need to prove myself. I talk about that a lot, where like everywhere I go, I feel like I need to prove myself in a way that I'm pretty sure if I was a white male, I would not feel the same. Whenever I go into a place and like I'm automatically treated as though I don't know shit. And instead of having like the healthy reaction that is like, oh, well, over time, it'll become obvious that I know what I'm doing. I immediately want to like jump into show off mode and shit. See, I'm messing up. You see, I just cannot talk and do coffee. I wonder how I was ever a barista.
Yeah, no, I think that is on par for people of color and especially for women, because we are often invisible, and also hyper visible, right? Like that tension, it's like it puts you in another tension of I'm not doing enough, or now I need to be doing the most. Those tensions are in parallel. And so I get that. I think I'm at a point now to where I'm like, I have enough like things on paper to stunt on people if I need to. But otherwise, like, I'm a pretty like loud, take up space kind of character. So people should know, by now. And if they don't know, I have receipts,
Yeah, nice. See, I like that. I need to be around more people like you.
Man, you know what, Nikki? I totally effed this up because I did the long bloom time.
Yeah. I was wondering why you weren't ready.
Bruh. All right, I have to do this over.
Okay.
But you can talk about yours.
All right.
The other one, though, as it's cooling, is still really nice. I think there's some more like chocolate coming out as it cools.
Oh, yeah.
The florality is still there, but I feel like it's more balanced. I taste some like lemon, like acidity.
Mine, as it's cooling, it's so well balanced. I'm actually a little bit surprised because I still am not getting that much acidity.
Right.
I don't know what I was expecting to. I guess just out of habit, all my coffee as it cools, I'm used to the acidity pounding through, and no, not so much here. It's getting a little bit more sweet. Damn, this is bomb, actually. Maybe we can get away. Just try it. I know it's a lot on your mind. I taste there's more acidity in this short bloom, and more of the stone fruit, I think, is coming out than the first cup.
Oh, okay.
But still getting some of the milk chocolate. But the sweetness is more stone fruit variety than the honey that I got with the first cup.
Yo, what are the tasting notes on your coffee?
Milk chocolate, honey, and stone fruit.
Okay.
It's a blend from Bolivia.
We both have honey on tasting notes. Like mine says floral honey to be specific, which I think is pretty perfect. But yeah. Hey, while we're doing that, shout out to Barista Life LA.
Hey.
I've gotten to kind of be among some of the coffee greats from the start. For instance, I went to dinner with Lim Butler, and I had no idea who the hell he was. I went to dinner with him during my first coffee judging season, and he was amazing. He was really sweet. He gave me a pen and encouraged me to keep doing what I was doing. And then I figured out who he was, and I was like, holy shit, Lim Butler?
It sounds like I should know who that is.
Oh, you don't know who Lim Butler is?
No.
Oh, fucking God, you have to look him up now. I mean, so he's one of the co-owners of Black and White. Yeah, I mean, he's the only Black U.S. barista champion. So yeah, if you look up his routines and what he's done for the coffee industry is, I can't even put a name on it, But Lim is the dude that's for us, it's oh yeah, we can do this shit, we can be great. We can start our own shit. Yeah, and then just so you were talking about different sub communities and things like that. So yeah, I was able to be in a group chat with Lim and Tamika and Michelle and Ezra and some other people. And that was kind of my first Black coffee internet community. So as far as like if there's more professionals, I guess I'm trying to say is like I was able to get into like a group with the OGs, and then from there, it's a matter of just building other kinds of connections. I don't know that there's necessarily more professionals yet, but I do believe that there are more people who believe that they can get there now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, which is a really, I guess from like the outside looking in, and that doesn't seem like that much of a difference, but that's a huge step. I think a lot of like Black folks don't see coffee as a viable industry to enter because they don't see, like a few years ago, I think this was the vibe I was getting. They don't see themselves in the industry. They don't really see the opportunities for them. So yeah, the fact that if that's something that's changing, that we can now see more opportunity for ourselves in the coffee world, that's a huge step.
Yeah, it's so important because for me, I didn't know that coffee was going to be my thing. And then I found out about the chocolate barista and I was like, dude, like, wow, like, all right, so Black women can do this and like do it really well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like now that there's more people who know that they can be a part, there can be this bigger collective push, not only for us to have coffee careers that are sustainable, but also for us to do what we're doing, like to gather and build upon our collective knowledge, as Black coffee people. And that's really exciting.
It seems like I'm joining and finding this community at the exact right moment. Man, these coffees taste completely different. The second coffee that has the short 30-second bloom, definitely started out with more acidity. And as it cools, it's getting a little bit more lemony, that acidity. Mm-hmm. Which I'm used to in my majority of my coffees as they cool, but I've never been a fan.
Yeah,
I don't like that lemon acidity. I mean, it's still pretty good, especially when it started off hot. And that long 3-minute bloom is still tasting really good as it cools. Mm-hmm. Like I'm starting to get a little bit more slight hint of acidity, but it still just tastes really balanced. Mm-hmm. I'm getting all the flavors I like out of this.
Yeah,
it's a win for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So the second one is still cooling for me, but out the gate, between the two, I would say the second one is it's sweeter. It's more toned down also though, like, so it doesn't have as much brightness as the longer bloom. So this one to me is more of the like mango, stone fruit kind of taste. We'll see as it cools. But yeah, I think like the one with the longer bloom is like really balanced. Like the acidity is on point, the body's on point, and it's super flavorful. And I would say like the second one doesn't have as much flavor.
I know initially you said that you were not excited about, or maybe I misread what you were saying, but it seemed like you weren't excited about this experiment at first. Does this change your feelings about it at all? The results so far?
I don't think it has, I don't think it has quite yet. So, like, I'm open now to maybe, so like when I do a Chemex brew, I have my bloom time at 45 seconds versus 30. So like, I think extended blooms are good when it gets into like, I haven't done very many like 1 minute plus blooms. So doing, a 3 minute bloom was a stretch for me. I'm surprised, like I really enjoy this coffee, but I'm going to wonder, like at the end of the day, like if I will enjoy the shorter bloom better, because my palate is skewed towards sweetness, but also like lower acidity. Like I'm like, this one, like the longer bloom, like it is like balanced, but like the acidity is like relatively high, when you're comparing the two. I will probably end up liking this one better because it has less acidity.
What kind of roast is your coffee?
It's more towards, so Onyx's roasting scales are from traditional to modern. And this one is more on the modern side.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so it's more about communicating the types of things that you will taste in the coffee versus the roasting level, even though those two things are correlated. Traditional roasts are darker, but they also have more traditional taste, chocolate, nuts, and lower acidity. So like that, those are more traditional tastes, right? Modern would be moving towards like the medium and the lighter roasts, and modern taste would be more like the florals and tropical fruit and stone fruit kind of taste. So does that make sense?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a medium light roast, and it has the tropical fruit vibes to it, versus like being on the darker side and having some more like chocolatey or earthy or nutty kind of taste. So
yeah, it's interesting to me that your long brew cup of coffee has a higher acidity and mine is much lower than the other cup. I was wondering, you might have better insight into this, but I was wondering why that is. I'm assuming it has something to do with the type of roast.
I don't know. That's interesting. What is the rest level of your coffee?
It's like a medium dark.
Yeah, that's a really great factor to consider. This one's still not completely cooled down, but I prefer it. It's more like syrupy and sweet, and there is acidity, but it's not like, I wouldn't describe it as like very bright. I would say it has like mellow lime kind of acidity, and like maybe like a Meyer lemon, like a lighter lemon. This acidity, I know we've said it a million times, but it's super bright. Not bad, because I think it's in balance with like the really dynamic flavor, but it's just more kind of in your face. It's also more floral. So
I'm also now wondering if I should have used a single filter, or rather that like just matched the filters. I still prefer the double filter, but I'm wondering if now I'm wondering also if how much that changed our results. I'm still assuming that has more to do with the coffee than the filters. Yeah, interesting. I'm gonna have to actually play around with this some more with different coffees and see what kind of results I get. It is so pleasant to talk to you. I guess just pretty much everyone I've been talking to lately in coffee, because to be real, I've just been mad. I've just been in a bad mood all the time lately. Like, start off with like this morning with you in a good mood and you're doing well. Like, it lifts my spirits. So yeah, I just want to say I really appreciate your good mood.
I'm really thankful for you and my connection to you, and like just an opportunity to have fun and to do that with someone that I respect and that I enjoy. But yeah, I mean, anger it's warranted, it's justified. I like to think about anger, the creativity that comes with anger. Austin Channing Brown talks a lot about creative anger, but also it can be overwhelming, and we need people in our lives to ground us and to to reassure us and to just like help us like chill and have fun and smile and laugh and remember that there are things about life that are enjoyable. I would say the same, like, I'm with you, like, I'm not happy about the status quo and I will always push for change, but it's so great to have people in your life to pause with and to just enjoy what is, you know, and bringing other people into your what is, into your existence is always exciting to me because people see things that you don't see and they have qualities that you don't have, and that it makes my life more enjoyable. It makes it more exciting. So
nice.
I appreciate you as well.
Oh, shucks. That's so nice.
Dumb this pandemic.
All right, nice. Do you have any final thoughts on your second cup? I don't know if anything's changed since it's cool.
Yeah. So as like they're both cool. This one, to reiterate, has more like plurality and acidity, and the body is fine. I think it matches the profile, but if I'm talking about my palate preference, I prefer the second. The body is more viscous, more syrupy. It's more sweet, and the acidity is a pop. It's not like lingering like the first cup. I'm kind of a sucker for like thicker bodies on coffees. So I guess like what I'm trying to communicate is they're both good. I'm like, yeah, like extended bloom times, I think they can produce something that's good. But somehow like the body is kind of taking it over for me, and the like acidity, the type of acidity that's in the second cup is more enjoyable than the first. So
I like doing experiments with you because I like that we have different palettes, I guess, and different sort of different conclusions. I like it. What has got you feeling not caffeinated enough lately?
So like the way I register this question is like, what is getting me in a mood to where I feel like I need to indulge? Because coffee is an indulgence for me. Actually, spending more time by myself makes me want to indulge more. It makes me feel like I need to fill my time with making coffee because that's enjoyable for me, and I need to fill my time with consuming more coffee. It is like a ritual, and it's just a part of life, but also when I'm by myself, I'm prone to indulge more. So yeah, probably just spending more time with myself makes me feel not caffeinated enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay. Yeah. That's that rings true for me as well. I don't think there's ever been a period where I've had more coffee per day than all this time being by myself. Like I just drink 2 cups of coffee, like around it. Erica, thank you again so much for joining me again. It's been fun.
Of course. Yeah, anytime. I'm down for any kind of experiments you want to do. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll talk.
No.
Make it today, just get away.